this room probably doesn't look special to most people. Just some walls, some tiles, some sand, some furniture, and some shelving to put aquarium equipment and so on. But for me, this room means a lot. It's the first step towards bringing back aquascaping into my life. And to me, that feels important because aquascaping means a lot to me. It was a huge part of who I am, or who I used to be. I used to think nonstop about plants, layouts, aquascaping equipment, lights, etc. Like all the things that make an aquascaping, an aquascape tank look alive. And then at some point, like a lot of things in my life, I started drifting away from it. Like I never made a clear decision to say, okay, I'm gonna stop aquascaping. It just happened. Other things starting taking more space. I started having other priorities, and then slowly aquascaping just went away. I stopped feeding it. So this video isn't just about a fish room. It's mostly about a hobby that I thought I had lost and creating a space for said hobby. For people who don't know, aquascaping is just the art of creating aquatic landscapes or recreating landscapes in your aquarium. For many, it's just about rocks and woods and putting them in your tank and making it look good. But for me, it's much more than that. It's a design, it's patience, it's thinking about layers, biology, and so on. It's a lot of problem solving, a lot of trial and error. You can spend hours just thinking about the position of one piece of wood or how each plant is going to grow into your layout, how the whole thing is going to look in a month's time. And that's what made it good for me. That's what I loved about it. In a world where everything feels instant, I feel like aquascaping kind of forced me to have patience, to take my time. You don't build a beautiful aquarium in one day. You have to plan for it. Then you have to actually make it. Then you have to trim the plants to maintain the plants. And then come the errors, the mistakes, overdosing fertilizers and so on and so forth, fighting the algae. Then you adjust and wait, and slowly but surely you get a beautiful tank. But then, like I said in my first video, I started doing other things. Other things started taking more and more space in my life. And when some things start taking too much space, other things are bound to disappear. They just get pushed back a step, and then you're starting to think, oh, I'll start a new tank later, I'll start aquascaping again later, and so on. And then later it becomes months and then years. And then all of a sudden, something that used to be a big part of you is just a part of your past. And I still love aquascaping, so I don't want aquascaping to stay a part of my past only. When we found this house, what excited me the most was having the space for aquascaping again. In the apartment, everything felt kind of limited. Like there was no room for big projects or big aquascaping projects and all the messy side that comes with it. Because like when you see a finished tank, you're thinking, oh, aquascaping is very peaceful and it's all beautiful and so on and so forth. But it's not always like this. Like during the process, there's buckets, there's soil, there's rocks, there's roots everywhere, there's plants. And if you actually want to do aquascaping seriously, you kind of need some space. So when we moved into this house, the basement became a very important space for me, basically. It was rough, messy, not very pretty, but it was space where I could imagine me and myself aquascaping again. It's a functional space where I can store aquarium and all the equipments that I need, all the hardscape, the rocks, the wood, and so on. And that's when the project fish room started. Before the room started, it needed a lot of boring work. Just like any big project, it has an unglamorous phase, if I may. For example, before the podcast room, there's all the gear everywhere, there's cables everywhere. You have to think about the space. For the garage gym, there's planks. For the deadlift platforms, you have to cut the wood and so on and so forth. And obviously for the fish room, well, it was a bunch of sand, digging, and a bunch of dirt and tiles. And that's the part nobody really talks about. When I imagine aquascaping, I'm thinking beautiful tank, plants, good lighting, and so on. You don't imagine like carrying a bunch of bags, carrying tiles, digging stuff. But that part matters because if I want to build a durable aquascaping room, I need a good foundation, and that's what this room is. The goal for this room was not to make something very beautiful or anything. It was just to make something practical, something that could handle the reality of fish keeping and aquascaping, the reality of having water everywhere, some soil everywhere or sand. Somewhere I can store equipment such as lights, filters, and so on and so forth. Equipment, scissors, and yeah. I just needed a room that gave me the space and that could handle the reality of aquascaping. I just needed the space where I could put a bunch of aquariums without feeling like an inconvenience. And looking back at how the basement started, it's actually kind of satisfying seeing the progress. It's still very simple, and there's still a lot of things I want to improve, but it feels different. It feels like it fulfills the purpose and it's meaningful. I have my RODI for my shrimp water, or just my water in general for the tanks that are installed here. It's like the water evacuation is linked to a water evacuation where the previous owners had their washing machine. And then here is the finished fish room. I only have 2 shelving at the moment, and it's for now mostly shrimp tanks, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the one on the top, I'm probably gonna make an aquascape or some saltwater aquarium. I'm not sure yet. And there was supposed to be my big contest aquascaping tank here, but unfortunately I broke the tank, so for now it's just a it's just a working table where I just put random stuff on. But yeah. So these tanks are just gonna be shrimp tanks. I'm still cycling the tanks, so the shrimps are not here yet. These 2 are cycled already. There's a shrimp in there somewhere. And this one is already stocked with red shrimps. A lot of my life over the past few years I've felt scattered, if I can say it that way. Like too many distractions, unfinished projects, thinking instead of doing. Aquascaping is different. Like you can't rush it. If you rush it or try to rush it, you'll see it instantly in your tank. If you stop maintaining it, it shows. If you want your aquascape to turn beautiful, you have to keep showing for it. And I feel like that's basically why aquascaping is a beneficial hobby for me. I need that consistency. The room is ready, but the aquascaping journey is only starting again. But instead of feeling like a distant idea, I can see the start. I can actually see it starting. So yeah, I built my fish room. This is not the end of the project. It's more the start of the project. The room is ready. Now I just have to fill it up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.